the NFL predictions. The season starts Thursday, guys. It's here. The NFL season is here. And there's a lot of predictions too. So we got Harley, you're out. He's gonna put his mic on, make sure his mic is on. We are going to make sure that he chimes in as well because his NFL knowledge is not to be questioned at all. So we are going to start from the top, the AFC East. I really don't think there's any debate here. The New England Patriots will win the division. Miami Dolphins second, Bills third, Jets fourth. That's what I got.
Real quick. Update. So yeah, the original goal was 200,000, and then where they're at right now, they passed 18.5 million.
Okay.
So just sort of to get the details right.
Make sure we get that right. Yeah. Absolutely. Good job for checking that. Great job with the fact checking.
All right, Harley, who you got?
AFC East, who you got?
Yeah, I think it's the Patriots. I don't think. I mean, there's no one even worth thinking about after New England.
Jay Cutler and Miami, that could be something special, right, Harley?
It could be interesting.
He said it with a smirk.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I have
same
nothing
thing?
different. I got Pats, Dolphins, Bills, Jets.
AFC North.
Not too much drama.
Yeah, AFC North is not much different either. I think a lot of it is Pittsburgh, but the question comes in as a 2 or 3 slots, Baltimore or Cincinnati. I think Cleveland obviously is going to finish fourth, but for me, I got Baltimore at 2, Cincinnati at 3.
Harley?
Yeah, I think that all sounds right. Baltimore and Cincinnati are interesting to me because Baltimore has a better defense. I think most would contend that Cincinnati has a better offense, though. So it's kind of, do you prefer offense or defense? And for me personally, I just think Cincinnati's missed their window. I think they had that nice 5-year stretch. Dalton's a solid quarterback, but I just think they kind of missed their window.
As far as that goes, I'm usually a defense guy. You know this. I'm usually a defense guy, but I'm going to go with the Bengals. For this one, I'm going with the Bengals because every regular season they impress me and they surprise me. They go on their runs, they get a couple streaks moving, and it's really interesting to see. But I also know that when the playoff time comes around, they're not going to do anything ever. So, but I am going to give them the regular season. So I'm going to pick Bengals over Ravens with the Steelers number 1 and Browns at 4.
But I mean, the Steelers at number 1, I've no debating. I mean, they just picked up Joe Hayden for goodness sake,
and they finally re-signed Bell.
They got Le'Veon Bell signed to that franchise tender. Big Ben Roethlisberger with Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant. Yikes. So to more of a division that's pretty debatable, honestly, for who's going to win. Let's talk about the AFC South. Eliav, I want to know who you got. It's because you got Tennessee, Houston, Indianapolis, and Jacksonville.
So I know most people are going to have the Titans at number 1, but I'm going to go with the Houston Texans because, and we spoke about this earlier, I know Harley and I agree about this, that you can't get much worse than Osweiler. You really can't. And they almost beat the Patriots in the playoffs. If they had a half-decent quarterback, they would have. And they almost beat the Patriots. And I don't think there's any reason. I mean, that defense, I'm going to go with the defense again this time, flipping my decision prior, because when you have a defense that stacked, Clowney, of course, Watt, who we just praised. Now, let's talk about it on the field. On the field, we already know what J.J. Watt's capable of. But no, that defense is too much. Savage is starting, but if they can get Deshaun Watson in there ASAP, I think they'll be more successful. I think Deshaun Watson has a lot to offer for this team, and especially since you come back from Osweiler, there's only positives.
Yeah, no, I think we completely agree on the Houston Texans. I think that Tennessee is solid. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I just think that Houston kind of earned my respect last year when they had a Brock Osweiler who really couldn't even move the ball. Like, calling him a game manager is almost giving him like too much praise. It was all up to the defense. And this year, I think, Savage, Watson, whoever it may be, I think they're more capable than Osweiler would be at any point last year.
I got Tennessee winning the division. I think that offense, they drafted Corey Davis in the first round out of Western Michigan. And just a speedster and just a blazing speed this kid has. With Marcus Mariota, who's had a few years under his belt now, he's understood. He's got the system down. Not to mention he's got DeMarco Murray in the backfield. That offensive line, it's suspect, but the defense is going to be good enough, in my opinion. But it's going to be really close. I got Tennessee by 1 game. They're going to beat Houston out for the division.
Fellas, we might, all 3 of us, regret saying not the Colts. We might.
Yes, we might. And Andrew Luck's not going to play the first game of the year. I mean, that doesn't have implications for the playoffs, but we've seen what Andrew Luck does in the regular season, and we just need to see more consistency out of Andrew Luck. That's what we need.
We just need to see health, honestly, more than anything.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy needs to stay on the field.
He also needs defensive line. Good. He needs an offensive line, too. He's getting sacked way too much. Yeah, way too much.
And we all know he's very nice when he gets hit. He's all good hit, big fella, but, there's only so many good hit, big fellas until you don't like it as much anymore.
The AFC West. Now, this is another interesting division. To wrap up the AFC, I got Oakland winning the division with Kansas City at 2, Denver at 3, Chargers at 4. I think it's pretty simple for me. And Harley, do you have Oakland as well?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next, let's transition to the NFC. This is a division that
this is a tough one.
The NFC East. I am picking the New York Giants to win the NFC East, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to finish second with the Eagles in third and the Redskins in fourth place. Now, the Giants' offense, way too high-powered. Adding Brandon Marshall, you got 3 receivers who can legitimately be number 1 on any team. And Eli Manning, we need to see playoff Eli. He can't be choking again like he did against we need playoff Eli. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not a Giants fan. The Giants need a playoff Eli, and they need that defense to be the same way they was last year.
Well, to me, it comes out. I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree that the Giants' defense is underrated?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you just talk about how good their offense is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're set up for potential success. And now Zeke not being in for the first 6, minimum 4, most likely. It'll be interesting, but I just don't think the Cowboys have enough to overtake the Giants again this year, even though I still have the Cowboys making an appearance a little bit later on.
No, me too. And I mean, the Cowboys, the deal with the Cowboys is that sophomore slumps, that's something that everybody talks about when it comes to Dak Prescott.
Which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. I don't buy that at all for Dak Prescott.
I don't buy it completely. I feel like his numbers are going to disintegrate a little less. He's going to throw more picks, in my opinion, because teams have got more film on him now, and he understands teams have getting more comfortable playing against him and everything. But Zeke being out 6 games, that's tough. Even though they got a good running back trio still with McFadden and Alfred Morris, that's still a good running back trio. Defense is really sketchy out there in Dallas.
All right, Harley. Everyone wants to know
Cowboy.
your opinion, big fella.
Look at he's Mr. Cowboy.
I think if you don't pick New York to win the division, you're a little crazy. I don't think Philly has as good a chance as some credible people are giving them. Just all around as a whole, I think they're just kind of a younger team. The Cowboys, the story is their offense, and a big part of their offense is gone for 6 games at the moment. Along with that is the defense, and they lost tons of pieces on defense. Mm-hmm. Almost too much to even consider replacing. And then you always have the suspensions on their defensive line and linebacking core. So and the injuries, Sean Lee. So the defense is the huge question mark, and it's honestly cost them my entire lifetime. It's cost the Cowboys. Their defense.
Facts.
So when it comes, let's transition to the next division, and we'll move it on a little faster here. The NFC South. I think we can all do we all got the Falcons?
Yes.
Yeah, the Falcons are just, the Super Bowl hangover, that could be something.
And then we disagree.
Yeah, and then we disagree about the 2 and the 3. I have Tampa Bay as the 2. Tampa Bay is going to be legit. Tampa Bay is for real. Their offense is for real. Eliav Gabay is for real. Jameis Winston, he's going to do something special thing this year. But that's not even the guy. The most guy who I think is going to have the best year. It's going to be Mike Evans. Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson, that 1-2 punch with Howard at the tight end position. That's huge.
But are you forgetting about the Panthers' stacked roster?
I'm also taking into fact that
Benjamin, talking about now Christian McCaffrey, who should have a very, very nice season. Yeah. Their defense is still solid all around. I mean, this team is very, very good.
It is, and I don't take that away from you.
I would say it's a more well-rounded team than the Buccaneers. So that is why I have them at number 2.
And I also think the defense
I honestly think they could get number 1. I don't think they will because the Falcons are also stacked in every way. Yeah. But I definitely have them over the Bucs.
Yeah, the NFC North, Green Bay, I think we all cordially agree on that. It's Green Bay. And then the 2 or the 3, it's interesting, Detroit or Minnesota. I mean,
who'd you have for the NFC South first?
Yeah, the Falcons. Yep. I think it's like a shoe in.
And then and then the 2, 3.
The Panthers, it's a toss-up because both quarterbacks have been somewhat unpredictable.
True.
And I think the Panthers going into this offseason wanted to work on Cam Newton's actual throwing ability quite a bit, and if like his pocket presence. And if this season works out that way with their schedule, he could be another like potential MVP candidate, like super dark horse. Like, but so Panthers would be my second.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be close. It'll be interesting though. Okay, now let's move on. NFC North, Weston.
Yeah, I got Detroit at the 2. I think Detroit's going to be second place. Minnesota, to me, has just dipped down, and they lost Adrian Peterson. I don't think anybody really trusts Sam Bradford.
The defense just fell apart towards the end. They were so good to start.
They were. We were ranting and raving about how Minnesota was going to be the team coming out of the NFC.
Yeah,
but Anthony Barr is a stud out there on that linebacker for Minnesota. And for me, when I look at Detroit, Golden Tate and that offense with Theo Riddick, a bulldog in that back. He's a bulldozer in that backfield. Zane Zenner out of South Dakota State, kind of unknown, coming out of nowhere. Double Z's, you can call him. But
Mr. Fourth Quarter.
Mr. Fourth Quarter himself, Matthew Stafford, thank you very much. Mr. Fourth Quarter with his new $100 million self and the highest paid quarterback. He's Mr. Clutch. And I think Detroit is going to take the 2 over Minnesota.
I mean, we already know what Matthew Stafford can do in the regular season.
Yeah.
Now, in the postseason, I don't know. But in the regular season, he is definitely good enough to get them to that second spot. And now, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, we all agree Green Bay is going to win that one. But Aaron Rodgers now has more weapons, more toys to play with. And that's always dangerous for the man.
That is a bad man right there. So he's just a bad man. Yeah, well, what do you 2 or 3 Minnesota, Harley? Minnesota, Detroit.
Yeah, I just don't. Matt Stafford over Sam Bradford to me, and that's why I would take Detroit second.
Yeah. NFC West.
He's a bad man.
Amen.
I had to.
Amen. Amen, baby. NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks. I got them at number 1 over the Arizona Cardinals. That's a pretty popular pick among demand. I would say Seattle over Arizona. Los Angeles at the 3, and San Francisco at the 4.
This is such an ugly division.
Yeah, it's a pretty. It doesn't from.
I'm a Rams fan.
And I'm a Cardinal fan, so like from a perspective, it's like it's kind of like it makes you cringe a little bit.
And the Rams need to sign Aaron Donald. What are you doing? Stop wasting time. Get that man on a roster. He's done everything for you.
I agree with you.
He has literally been the pride and joy and one of the only bright spots on this Rams team.
No, you're right.
Completes the defense that you call the mob squad. There's no mob squad without Aaron Donald.
No, I agree that
you
they
have
need
to
him.
bring him back. I don't understand how they're being so annoying with the situation, honestly.
I don't know what's going through the mind of these people.
Pay the man whatever he wants. Pay him. He's young. He's already one of the best in the league.
You're right. Absolutely.
He's a 99 in Madden.
Seattle or Arizona, Harley.
Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so let's jump right into the playoff picture. And
Seattle, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm laughing in my mind about Aaron Donald.
I was ranting.
For those of you can't see it, unfortunately we don't have the cameras today, but the man was jumping up and down. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
I love my life, man. I'm so blessed, bro. Oh, what a life. The AFC playoffs. 1 through 5 in this order for me. New England, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, then Kansas City as the number 1 wild card at the 5. Houston sneaks in as the second wild card in the 6. Eliav?
I got Pats number 1, Raiders number 2, and we had debate about this. You guys convinced me, but because the Pats are just always too good, and I agreed that it's just like I cannot not go with them. But the Raiders look out for maybe a surprise. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Right. And then we got so Pittsburgh Steelers at 3. Texans 4 for me. I got Kansas City Chiefs at 5 because, fellas, consistency kills. And that team is consistent all the way around. Alex Smith, I mean, he's a game manager, but he's good at it. So why
gets the job done enough.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go with them. And then I got Cincinnati Bengals. Again, they're going to make it. They're going to slip in, but nothing after that.
Mm-hmm. No, what do you, Harley? You got 1 through 5, 1 through 6.
Yeah. So NFC goes Packers, Falcons, Seahawks, Giants and Seahawks are kind of interchangeable to me. I just think the Seahawks have an easier time in their division, so they'll probably win more games. The Cowboys take the first wild card, and then Tampa Bay sneaks in with the second one. Tampa Bay and Carolina are just interchangeable to me. Right now, I'm kind of waffling.
Tough, right.
So right now, we'll stick with Tampa Bay, but I would not be surprised if Carolina got in there. And then in the AFC, the Patriots, Raiders, Steelers, Texans, Chiefs, and then Titans.
Oh, we're just at two flip-flops for us. Then NFC for me, I had Green Bay as the one. Like Aaron Rodgers is going to do something with Martellus Bennett. Like you said, he's got a toy to play with there, and Martellus Bennett. I mean, he's got something special. He hasn't had a tight end like that since Jermichael Finley. And Jermichael Finley wasn't even all that great, as good as Martellus Bennett is. So we got Green Bay at 1. We got Atlanta at the 2. New York Giants at the 3. Seahawks at the 4. The Dallas Cowboys are at the 5. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at the 6.
Yeah, so I mentioned Dallas is going to make an appearance for me, and they're doing it here. I have Cowboys at the 6 because people forget that Zeke is still coming back at some point.
Yep.
He's still coming back, and he's still going to be Zeke, and he's still going to do really well. So I have them at 6. I have the Panthers at 5. I got Seattle at 4, Giants at 3, and I got Packers 2, Atlanta 1.
Yep. And so we got NFC. Let's start into the AFC and NFC championship games.
All right, this is where
this is the nitty-gritty stuff. Yeah.
This is where we usually are going to be embarrassed in a few months.
Boy. Okay, so AFC, Harley, go first.
AFC, Patriots, Raiders. I think the matchup would have been last year if Derek Carr had been healthy.
Yep.
I think the matchup everyone wanted to see because the AFC has been so Patriot dominated that whoever they play is almost irrelevant. So I think it'd be a great matchup, and I think every fan wants to see it.
I am right with Harley. Oakland versus New England. I got it. That team, Oakland was destined for the AFC Championship game last year until Derek Carr got hurt, and then Matt McGloin or whatever the other guys were for Oakland were. Connor Cook. Thank you, Sky, very much. Connor Cook. Those other two guys. It was a collision course for Oakland and New England, but this year it's Oakland and New England, baby.
All right. Listen, I'm going to go with the two teams that you hear of the most on the AFC, and I'm not ashamed of it.
No, of course.
I'm going with the Pats versus Steelers.
It's good, man.
I think it's going to be a better game than last year because Bell got hurt, in the first or second quarter last year?
Yeah.
And that was, you need the 3 Bs if you're a Steeler to survive. They might as well join up with Big Baller Brand because they need those 3 Bs in order to be successful. And if they have Bell, Brown, and the boy Ben, then I think that they can do some serious damage and be successful. This team knows what it takes.
Yeah.
It absolutely knows what it takes. And I like the Steelers a lot.
NFC Championship, Green Bay is definitely going to make it, in my opinion. But now, call me crazy, I think it's going to be the New York Giants. And it's going to be...
It could be.
It could be. Like we said, it's just how you introduce this topic. We're going to look back on this. We're going to what the heck were we thinking?
Or we'll be like, oh...
give me a cookie. I picked the right one.
Yeah.
So I got the Giant playoff. Eli's got to show up. He just has to. So I got Giants and Packers. Harley?
For me, I think it's going to be the Packers and the Falcons again.
I have the same one.
I know it's not that sexy of a pick. I get it.
I don't love it, but it's just the NFC is so tough to predict because. Again, if playoff Eli shows up, they're going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's no in between. They either lose or they win the Super Bowl.
I like that. Yeah. No, if it happens, it happens. There's no. I have Packers, Falcons, man. Falcons, I don't think there's any reason for them to be any worse. Only their defense was young. Sorry, Falcons. No, I said Falcons, right?
Yeah, you said
Okay, sorry. Sky's making me second guess myself.
Sky Merida.
Facial reactions.
Get out, Sky. No,
I think there's no reason for Matt Ryan to be any worse. Julio Jones is going to do his thing again. They got Freeman in the back. They got a defense, again, that was young, made their mistakes, but this team is battle-tested now. They've been through one of the most embarrassing moments in NFL history for their side of things. So, you learn, and you grow. So we're going to see a lot from this team. We're going to see if they're going to crash and burn, or if we're going to see if they can rise up from the ashes. So I'm going to count on rising up from the ashes. And just to get ahead of you real quick, Super Bowl winner for me is the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm cool with that. I think that's a good pick right there. And, the Super Bowl hangover could be real, but they just got too good. And the Falcons are just, their offense, their defense, every bit of their game is good. Plus, Dan O'Quinn's a heck of a coach. For me, Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year, guys.
Oh, man.
And it's going to be because of Aaron Rodgers. Now, the defense, I get it. Secondary, not so good. They added House from Jacksonville in the offseason. They got HaHa Clinton-Dix, Randall, the Arizona State alum. I think those guys needed to get that kind of experience under the belt with the NFC Championship, getting robbed by the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're going to have more of a revenge this year. Aaron Rodgers is going to prove himself, and I got Green Bay winning the Super Bowl. Mr. Gear out?
Gotta go with the Patriots. However, it wouldn't surprise me if Brady really just kind of falls off towards the end of the season. To me, it could go either way. You know, he is getting up there in age. At the same time, he takes care of his body better than any athlete. You know, it's one of the top athletes taking care of himself out there.
Tom Brady looks good with those Tom Ford suits and everything. I mean, he's looking smooth.
I mean, you can never ever count him out. It's simple as that. Like, I've never seen Tom Brady not be good. So that's that's when you're like, well, they can just win again. They might as well.
Yeah. Real quick
this time.
Yep. So real quick, we wrap this up. MVP, Mr. Gabay.
Derek Carr. He was fantastic last season, and if he didn't get hurt, there's no reason to believe he couldn't do it. So Derek Carr, and look out for the Raiders as a whole. I think they can really surprise some people.
The MVP is Aaron Rodgers. He's a bad man. Harley?
Yeah, I'm going to go with you, Aaron Rodgers.
There it is.
Bam, bam. All right, the rookie offense.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's just what Carolina needed. Harley?
Yeah, same.
Defensive. I got Jamal Adams.
I got Myles Garrett.
Okay. Jamal Adams, I get it. Jets are have the potential to go 0-16. I get it. But that dude is something special. I mean, he's running all over the place out there. His coverage is unbelievable. I think he's perfect for the Jets.
I think Myles Garrett, I mean, listen, that defense is his.
Yeah.
You know, that team is so bad that, and both the guys we picked, their teams are so bad that they're going to need to do something on their end to make the difference. And if they can, then we'll see who's right.
Head coach of the year, I got Dirk Cutter. Tampa Bay head coach, because I'm so high on Tampa Bay, man.
I mean, as you can tell, I've already said it. I'm really high on the Raiders. I'm going to go Jack Del Rio.
Oh, okay.
He takes risks. He trusts his players. I love his style. He's like a Dave Roberts-esque of the NFL. He's not afraid to make the big, crucial decisions that are very bold, but have paid off.
Mm-hmm. Harley?
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to go Jack Del Rio as well. I think the addition of beast mode helps his coaching a lot more too.
Yeah.
You know, makes life a little easier for him.
Forget about him. I didn't even consider. I forgot about him completely. Dude, beast mode's back. He's back. Let's go. I'm so excited about that. The press conferences are going to be so fun.
Yeah. Those are our NFL predictions, guys. So to recap, I got Packers. Eliav's got Falcons. Mr. You're out. He's got the Patriots. Not that sexy of a pick, but that's okay. So
neither of ours are.
Yeah, no, we're all probably one of us, two out of three of us is going to be looking back and going, boy, we screwed this up.
Maybe all three of us if we're lucky.